I'm going to talk a little bit today about what it means to draft the anatomy of a winning proposal. I started out, like many of you in this room, as a meeting planner, as a professional event planner, and through the years, my clients came to me because they needed more. I own my own event planning business, and it started out as tables that we sell at black tie galas and that kind of thing. So there was no one else who would actually service the sponsors or sell the sponsorship, so that became me, okay? So I'm going to give you not 5, not 10, but 20 things that I want you to think about when it comes to doing sponsorship, okay? The 20 is a good number, right? Good, okay, good. So here's what we want to do. Clearly, everyone has a disclaimer, I do, because I know what you said, but you tell me if I wrote Coca-Cola proposal, they give me $500,000. I would never do that, okay? Because Coca-Cola hasn't even given me any money yet, all right? But here's tip number 1. Ladies and gentlemen, it is so important to know the difference between marketing dollars and philanthropic dollars, okay? Today, you can easily go to both when it comes to a corporation, but marketing dollars are just that. To me, those are the sponsorship dollars, the soft dollars. If you want philanthropic dollars, there is a place for you. Primarily, though, it's the foundation, okay? You can have both, but foundations usually want you to write a grant, and marketing dollars, you can do a sponsorship proposal, and more likely, it's off to the races you go, okay? Here's tip number 2, capturing market share. This is what they're giving you sponsorship for, okay? What do you have to offer? And I'll talk to this young lady a little later about her sponsorship. So who is your audience? And more importantly, your audience needs to align with the sponsor's audience, okay? Very, very important, ladies and gentlemen, because if not, you're going to have problems. Let's think about Disney. Give me one word that works for Disney. Anybody? Kids. What else? Magic. Give me another one. Experience. How about family? Right? Family. So if you go to Disney with something like a hoochie mama, you're in trouble. So please don't say to Disney, oh, I want you to give me somebody that's going to sponsor this tour. It probably isn't going to happen. So keep this in mind. And sometimes this may sound crazy, but it's simple, ladies and gentlemen. Align the sponsor with whatever type of event you are producing, okay? Start there. And the other tip that I'm going to give you is understand the hierarchy. Remember, corporations usually have foundations, and they have marketing departments as well. 10, 15 years ago, they would try to get you to go into one funnel. Today, you can actually get money from both. But if you're an agency like Ernie, the type of relationship that an agency has with a corporation, believe it or not, is very different than the type of relationship that I would have with a corporation, because they want me, and perhaps many of you, to write a proposal for them through a funnel, and then off it goes, okay? So understanding this hierarchy, the nonprofit world, I'm closer to that world. The sports world, again, is very, very different. The sports world, they have that one-to-one relationship. They can go directly to the Yankees. I have a difficult time getting to, okay? Understanding the matrix, which is also part of the hierarchy. Very quickly, if you're a nonprofit and you want a grant, which is fine, you're going to go to the foundation portion of a corporation's website, and you're going to write the grant. The grant's going to ask you, who's your board? What percentage of your budget is administrative fee, and all of those other things. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't want that. I want the marketing dollars. Who else wants the marketing dollars? Yeah, there we go. Okay, you know what? We're going to write them together, ladies and gentlemen, all right? Nonprofit and search of sponsorship, again, it used to be that they would kick you to the foundation side, and they would kick you to the foundation side by asking you a series of questions. Are you, and the magical one was, are you a 501c3? And if you are a 501c3 and you answer all those questions, the portal would automatically direct you to the nonprofit, to the foundation page. That's not the page you want to be on if you're looking for sponsorship dollars. And we've talked a little bit about the agency. If you are a cause-related event, like Susan G. Coleman's, the AIDS Walk, a lot of that is both agency relationships, both marketing dollars and foundation dollars, because the foundation dollars will give the employees an opportunity to have employee engagement. You get volunteers from them and all of that. So that's a good relationship for you to have. Here's tip number 5. Told you I had a lot of them for you, didn't I? Timing, which we talked about in the previous panel. Timing is so important, ladies and gentlemen. If you do what sponsors call a one-off event, which means it's the only time you're doing it, it's not an annual event of any type, Sponsors are not crazy about that unless it is so unique that they want to be a part of it, okay? So keep that in mind. And as I said, it used to be 6 to 9 months. Believe it or not, today it's 18. So the sooner you can get your proposal into a corporation, the better your chances are of being funded. Again, provided that everything aligns. I love this one. Data ducks, ladies and gentlemen. Get your data ducks in a row. Who is the audience? Will you have corporate hospitality? Will you have a tent? All of these things are very important. Social media, do you have influencers like Liz Caruso? Do you have people like Liz who will write for you? Internet, sponsorship, all of these things you want to start doing. Remember, this is before the ask. This is your homework, okay? This is what you want to do before the ask. And the big one before the ask, if you don't know what an asset valuation is, you need to try to do one. What exactly do you have that you can offer a sponsor, okay? There are corporations out there that will actually do the asset valuation for you. And then whether you want to package it, I mentioned earlier that I was at a conference a couple of weeks ago. They kind of defunneled the packaging, which I thought was very interesting. Instead of saying you get all of these things, they give you a list of things, and then you go through and select what you want, and then they price it based upon what you selected. All right? So keep that in mind. That's kind of a new thing. Pricing, we talked about activation. Activation is what you see when the Super Bowl, like the Coca-Cola Bears, or the beer cans for the Super Bowl into the stores. That's the activation that the sponsor does. You have to ask yourself, your primary role here is fulfillment. Fulfillment is what you said to the sponsor in the contract. We are going to be responsible for these things. So I always say, under promise, over deliver, especially if sponsorship is new to you. There are types of benefits for sponsors as tip number 8. On-site business, off-site business, and on-site brand, okay? I don't know why you lost your lights. That's a different story. Okay. But I'm going to continue. Do you have discount tickets? Sampling. Sampling works very well. I think it gets a little tricky. There was a young lady speaking before about permits. If you are holding an event in a park, sampling may work, but selling might not work. Because if you're selling, you might have to give a portion of your proceeds to the city, okay? So ask all of those questions before you start selling, especially in a public space. Of course, things like official status, booth, kiosk. Can you have your logo on the sponsor's logo on a uniform? Can they sponsor volunteers? All of this you can do. Tip number 9, please, ladies and gentlemen, follow the rules, okay? If they tell you we only accept proposals online, then please go online. And use your network. If there's somebody that you know at Wells Fargo, or somebody that you know at Coca-Cola, there's a place in the form for you to put that person's name, put it in there, okay? Let that help you. There was a time, be specific and concise, the online proposals limited you to 150 words, not 151. So what I used to do is I would write up the description of the sponsorship that I wanted, and I would do the word count, make sure that it was right, and then I would insert it. Many of the sponsorship proposals have got, online portals, have gotten away from that, which I think is a very good thing. And then number 10, measurement and evaluation was really, really important, which we talked about in the last panel. And don't forget things like in-kind contributions. I mean, if you need beverages or water and all of those things, it's okay, ask sponsors for them. Because if they can get that brand logo in front of your audience, that's a win-win for everybody. I'm going to skip this one because, again, I'll put this up for you because I want to talk about this piece. Crafting the proposal. Many corporations today, you need to go online. They all have some type of software, ladies and gentlemen, that runs in the back. It could be Versaic, it could be Connexport, it could be Connexo. Sponsor Park works differently. Instead of you going to Allstate and Ford and Dick's Sporting Goods, you go to one portal, you upload your proposal, and all the sponsors take a look at you. Okay? That's how it works. I've never been funded, honestly, through any of these. I get funded by writing proposals. That's how it works for me. Let's go on to, here are your other 10. The winning sponsorship proposal, I honestly believe, is a proposal that talks about the sponsor's needs, not your needs, okay? It's not their job to be your budget. Media and social media, especially today. Data, did you do surveys? Did you do results? Are you conducting surveys on site during the event? All of that is very, very important. And we talked about live engagement and unique experiences. Is there a place for the sponsor to have a community partnership with you? Habitat for Humanity. Will you and your people go and build a house? Get involved. Does your proposal solve a niche or fill a need? And is your proposal content rich? Does it talk about the brand and the identity? I love Target, but we all know Target will take their bullseye and put it right on the top of your head because they love branding. So keep that in mind as well. And a good sponsorship proposal talks about customers first. By partnering with us, this will enable you to be able to do these things. That's what you should be talking about in your proposal. And another word that I'm hearing time and time again is authentic or authenticity. Your proposals need to be authentic. The sponsor needs to be able to see themselves in whatever the engagement is, whatever the activity is that you're asking them to sponsor, okay? Ed, give me a 2-minute, okay? Is that my 2-minute? Okay, I did ask for it, didn't I, ladies and gentlemen? Look at categories that are emerging and disruptor when you want to get sponsors. If you're not having success with all of the bigger companies, who's a disruptive category in New York City right now or the country? Uber, okay? Look at all the things that how you can have food delivered to your home, like Plated and Blue Apron and all of that. Look for categories like that maybe other people are not playing in, okay? Just to recap, measurement, follow the rules, sponsor benefits. Be creative, ladies and gentlemen. Speak to the audience, speak to the sponsor's audience. And I love saying engage, 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 and under promise, over deliver, okay? I'll be out front. One very quickly, platinum, gold, silver, bronze. Some people say, I hate this. Ladies and gentlemen, if it works for you, sell it. Okay? Sponsorship is very, very unique. When you move up the food chain, things like sports sponsorship, they may frown upon this, okay? But I was sitting in my office just this week, true story, and I got a call from a sponsor for a client of mine, and they bought a platinum sponsorship. They went on the website, they saw it, they called me. There was no sales activity on my part at all. But that works for our audience. So if platinum, gold, silver, bronze works for you, sell it. Okay? Do I have time for one question? One question. Okay? Anyone have a question? We're good?
Is there a database to go to find sponsors?
There is. I came to deliver, ladies and gentlemen, okay? It's all good, okay? Now, I don't want to endorse anything, which is why I'll give you lots of information, but there is one here. I've used many of them. If you want to learn about sponsorship, it's really IEG, which is sponsorship.com, okay? But there's one product here that I have used. I'm not going to say that it's inexpensive, but if you want to find all the marketing people, the chief marketing officers, you want to find the director of sponsorship in most of corporate America, it is called Winmo. Tell them Bernard sent you, so I will get a discount. No, I'm just teasing, okay? But Winmo is very, very good. And what I love about Winmo is they are constantly updating their contacts, their database. And that's what's really important, okay? You don't want to subscribe to a tool where somebody left 6 weeks ago or 6 months ago and you don't know. So you want that tool to always be constantly updated. Helpful? We're good? Good. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Give it up for Bernard, everybody.